For us, the term wilderness is a positive one, which bespeaks an experience of pristine landscapes untouched by the destructive hand of human progress. For us, the wilderness is not a place that engenders fear and apprehension. Apart from encountering the timid and retiring snake or opportunistic leech, we're not likely to run across anything that might harm us or lead us astray. This, however, is a singularly modern perspective, and it was not one that was shared by the Gospel writers who wrote the story of Jesus' temptation in the wilderness. For people in the first century, the wilderness was inhabited by demons, evil spirits, and wild beasts that could lead the unwary into peril, either physical or psychological. It was the demons who could lead the unwary over a precipice, entangle the careless in brambles, or capture the short-sighted in labyrinthine valleys, where physical strength and food supplies would soon run out. Thus stranded, one could be devoured by mythical monsters or fall prey to bandits. Those who ventured alone into the lonely expanse of the desert, the dark recesses of the forest, or the barren lands of the glacial peaks were either crazy or bent on radical self-discovery. Either way, the wilderness was the place where one was called upon to wrestle with one's demons. One of the most important gospel stories in this respect is the story of Jesus being tempted by the devil. And in most Christian liturgical traditions, this story is recalled as we enter the 40-day period of Lenten reflection and repentance. When we speak of Jesus being tempted by the devil, temptation in this situation is understood as a crisis where one's faith in God is tested to the point of collapse. Similarly, the role of the devil in this story follows Jewish tradition in identifying this character with Satan, the slanderer or accuser, whose intention is to test the faith of one of God's loyal subjects. Elsewhere in the New Testament, Satan has his own court, populated by fallen angels and demons, whose task is not simply to test the faith of God's faithful people, but to possess and to corrupt them. Such talk of demons, devils, Satan and fallen angels is a bit uncomfortable to modern ears. But Satan is one of the most important characters in the entire gospel drama. In the gospel stories, Jesus is seen as the Redeemer and Liberator, who brings the battle to the forces of evil, represented by Satan and his minions, casting out demons and healing all those who have fallen under the sway of the power of the darkness. The final petitions of the Lord's Prayer begs God to save us in the time of trial and deliver us from the evil one. Satan can be understood as symbolic of all the frailties of our humanity that in times of crisis tempt us to surrender to the inner demons of darkness and despair. As we embark on our Lenten reflections, we do well to recall the story of Jesus' battle with Satan in the wilderness. It reminds us that wilderness is not simply a place of pristine beauty. It is also a place of silence, where the stilling of the storms of everyday life opens the door to the Spirit and to radical self-discovery. As with Jesus, we all face tests of our faith, and often these crises occur when we are confronted with a wilderness moment. Stripped of the clamour of friendly conversation and the business of our everyday preoccupations, we find ourselves in a quiet and lonely place where we can do no other than struggle with our own demons. In our normal workaday lives, the demons can be easily relegated to the dark, shadowy corners of our minds, where they get lost in the details. But the occasional wilderness moment, such as the Church provides us in Lent, can be an opportunity to be open, to be led by the Spirit, to consider the big picture and the big questions. What sort of person should I be? Should I simply feed my own selfish desires, turn on the pyrotechnics to put myself in the spotlight, or throw myself from the highest tower in a blind acceptance of fate? Or should I, like Jesus, embrace the frailty of my humanity, confront my demons, and be led by the Spirit to renewed purpose in life?